Hi folks, Jem here. Welcome back to my creative space. Now today I'm going to be making a zine, or actually I'm going to be making 3 different zines as a bit of an experiment. I've got to be really honest with you, up until this week I'd only even vaguely heard of a zine. I wasn't absolutely sure what it was, and I've got to be honest and say I'd never made one. But I belong to a Facebook group called Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists, and this is run by Patricia and Mariah of PM Artist Studio. And each month there's a challenge to make and swap a piece of art, and it's something different every month for me. And this month it's to make a zine. So I thought, right, great challenge. So I looked up what is a zine. Now, according to Wikipedia, a zine is a small circulation, self-published work of original or appropriated text and images, usually reproduced by a copy machine. There you go. So small circulation, self-published, original or appropriated text and images reproduced via a copy machine. So I thought, okay, I need to find out a bit more. And so off I went and did some research. Now zines, there's a real history to zines, and I will tag a video that I found on YouTube below, which is a fascinating in-depth history of zines. But basically a zine can be a booklet which is self-published, that has artworks or ideas in, and these are often used for not necessarily subversive but alternative beliefs or groups to distribute ideas and beliefs. However, in the mixed media art world, a zine is generally a small booklet that has been produced from one sheet of paper. And there is a particular way of folding this paper that seems to be favoured by most of the art videos that I have seen. And I made this little one as a test by folding a piece of gel print that I had done. And so this video really is a hey, watch what I'm doing and learn along with me. And as I say, I've watched a whole heap of videos over this last week to find out all about zines and see different people's ideas, and I've come up with 3 things that I want to try. So each time I'm going to use just an ordinary piece of A4 copy of paper, or I think if you're in the US it's called letter size. And the first one I'm going to do this evening is simply collaged with bits of book page and music paper. And then the second one that I'm going to do some freehand painting with some acrylic paint, maybe some mark making. And then the third one I'm going to do is to pull some prints off a gel plate. Now, the basis of a zine is once you have your piece of paper, you fold it in a specific way. And if I unfold this one and show you, there you go. I think this was, yeah, as I say, this was a scrap of gel print that I was using, so this is folded slightly differently. But the basic way, and I'm going to show you very quickly now, but I will be going into this in more depth in my next video. You basically fold your piece of paper lengthways, and then you unfold it widthways, and then you fold these pieces in to the middle. Then what you do is this piece here, you'll see, you split it like that, and you grab your 2 ends and you fold. And with a little bit of manipulation, and hey presto, there is your little book or your zine. And what we're then going to do is to decorate those pages. So today I'm simply going to be making the 3 different backgrounds or examples, if you like, because it's almost, to my mind, this stage is almost like a masterboard. You're creating something as a background, something to start with, and then you're adding on to it. So in this video today, I'm going to be creating 3 bases to make into zines, and then in my next video I'm going to be picking one of those to use for the challenge that we've been set in the Mixed Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists group, and I will then show you what I'm going to do with it, and I will put a link to that group down below. Alright, so for my first one, as I say, I am simply going to collage onto this piece of paper, and I've got my trusty PVA glue. This pot has a little bit of water in it as well, and I'm simply going to cover my whole piece of paper with glue, and I'm going to gradually collage pieces of the music page and book pages onto this. And I'd like to be kind of quite random in this and not think about it too much, because as I say, this is just going to be, I think of this as sort of a masterboard ready to create your zine onto. So if you're not aware of the Facebook group that I've been talking about, I would really encourage you to go and have a look. I joined some months ago now, or maybe longer than that, and I found it to be a really supportive group and lots of ideas. There's a number of different monthly challenges or suggestions for things to do. And I love it. So as I say, I'll link that down below. Have a look and see. Okay, I'm going to carry on collaging. I'll speed up my video a little bit because there's nothing more boring. And I will be back once this is finished. Okay folks, so here's my second one. So I've got another sheet of A4 paper, or letter size paper. I've got my small 2-inch brayer, and I've got my 5x7 gel plate, and I'm just going to be using this as a bit of a palette. Now I've pulled out some acrylic paints, bearing in mind I'm thinking about doing a Halloween theme. I've got a bright orange. It doesn't actually have a colour on this one, it's a very old one, but still works well. I've got a Mars black, I've got a gold, and I've got a little bit of rose madder. So we'll see how we go. This is going to probably be a layering process, so we might do a bit, let it dry, come back to it. So I'm going to start off just with a little bit of black. Now obviously I don't want too much. As I say, I'm just using this as a palette, and I'm going to, here, this is just an old diary, and I'm going to pop that over here to use as a brayer off sheet. Now, I don't know whether you can see that, but that's just over there. Okay, and I'm simply going to start laying down some colour, and I'm going to try and go different ways and go right to the edge. Okay folks, I've dried that off. I think, as I say, I don't want to overdo it at this stage because the embellishments on this can come later, but I am just going to, black was the first colour I put on, and I am going to just add a little bit more just to bring it back to the fore. And I may regret this, I may go over it, but you know, that's the fun of doing things like this. It's all about experimentation and play, seeing what you get. So I think at this stage I'm going to dry it off again, and I think I'm going to leave it for now because, as I say, we can come back when we actually fold it into the zine. I can put lots more embellishments and things on it. So I'm going to dry that one off, and we'll move on to the last one. Hi folks, welcome back. Okay, as you will see by the change in the light, I actually left this to dry overnight. So that one's now nice and dry, and we can put that to the side. And I've got my gel plate out for the next one. Now I'm going to try, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I have to be honest and say, we don't celebrate Halloween in a huge way here. I don't know whether that's a New Zealand thing or just an our family thing. But what that means is I don't actually have any Halloween themed stencils or stamps or anything like that. So I'm going to be creative this morning. I do have this stencil, which is some nice trees. And I've got this one, which is kind of, it looks like tree trunks when you do it. But I've also, what I've done this morning is flicked on my Cricut machine, and I've cut out a few, from scrapbooking card, I've cut out a few things which I thought might be able to use as a mask. Now, given that this sheet of paper will be folded this way, the pages will be like this. I'm trying to visualize. So what I've done is cut this to be 4 inches because my gel plate is 8 this way. So I've cut this to be 4 inches high. So I'm thinking that I might be able to use this and it would form one side of the zine. So I'm going to have a go with that. I've got some other individual bits and pieces as well, and I'm going to arrange those along the other side, and we'll have a go and see. You can see I've already done a test pull with this morning using paint to warm my plate up, and we've got some little, I've got a bit of a spooky haunted house here as well. So we're going to pop those on, and instead of using, it's overlapping a little bit, but I don't think that matters. Oh, I've got a bit of a different one there. Let's pop that one in just so that it looks different. A couple of little bats here as well, so we'll pop those in. What was I saying? Oh yes, so instead of using paints this morning, I'm going to be using Pearl-Ex powders. Now I did a video a little while ago about using Pearl-Ex powders on the gel plate, and I'll link that at the end of this video so that you can have a look, but you'll see what I do as we go along. I feel like that needs just a little bit more. I might cut a couple more bats and maybe some other little bits and pieces to add on, so I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I've added some more bats in there, and I've just moved things up a little bit and got the tree in. So I'm going to push all those masks down nice and firmly. And then these are my Pearl-Ex powders. Now you can get Pearl-Ex, and there's also Perfect Pearls, which is in the Ranger series. They are slightly different products, but as far as I'm aware, they work in a very similar way on the gel plate. So as I say, if you haven't tried them, I'll link the video at the end, or you can watch this and you'll probably get the idea. Right, so I've got a couple of different greens, I've got a couple of different golds, and I've got a bit of purple just for fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply these Pearl-Ex powders, and then I'm going to take the masks off and use black paint to pull. So have a watch, see what happens. There we go. As I was doing this, I was thinking I've actually not used the Pearl-Ex for quite such a big area before. I've used it for lots of little stencils like this, but not quite such a big area. So I'm actually really quite pleased with how that's turned out. This tree here, you can see it's probably not quite as clear as I like it, but actually it sort of fades it into the background of the picture. And if you bear in mind, this is going to be folded, and we'll have a look. We'll have a look what it looks like when it's cut up. All right. Do you know what? I'm really happy with that, and I'm not gonna pull another one. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that for today. So what we've got is we've got 3 different options now for our Zine for the background. So we've got the gel print one done with the Pearl-Ex powders. We've got the sort of acrylic painted one, and we've got the collaged one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim around this one in particular. So I'm going to have a clear up, trim around this, and then I will show you how to fold the Zine. And then in my next video, I'm going to choose the background that I'm going to use for the Halloween Zine for the challenge that we're doing. And I will show you the decorating step, if you like, of the Zine. Okay everyone, so I've trimmed off the edges for the collaged one. I've also trimmed around the gel print one because my plate is only 8 by 10 inches. It doesn't quite cover the whole A4 sheet of paper. So this one, when we fold it, will be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. I've also got my test one here, which I folded because, as you'll see if you look carefully, I folded this one the wrong way to start with. It's got a bit of an extra crease in there. So I'm going to be using this as a template to make sure that I fold this zine in the right way. Okay, so we'll start with this one. Now I'm going to fold end to end like this. And you can use a bone folder if you've got one, or the back of your scissors, whatever you have. And then I'm going to unfold and fold the other way. So for me, that's top to bottom and then side to side. Now this is where I have to get this right. Fold it side to side like that. I'm then going to take an end and fold into the middle. Now this is quite interesting. I was wondering whether, and this is why I've sort of been experimenting and doing 3 different ones. Sorry, I'm turning this around just because I tend to work from right to left. I wondered whether collaging would make the base too thick when you go to fold it. So that's one of the reasons that I've been experimenting with this. Okay, so now what you need to do is to open that up and fold back this way. Now what you actually want to cut, if we look at this one, it's exactly the same. You want to cut this fold here. So you're cutting from the middle fold just to that first fold that you made. So if you've got it opened up, that's your end panels and your middle panels. You're cutting from here to here along this line. Now you can do that using a ruler and a craft knife, or you can fold it that way and cut like this. And remember, you're just going up to that fold, and then I kind of go like that. And I don't know an easy way to explain that, but you manipulate it so that you've got this star shape. That's the easiest way I've found to remember it. You've got this star shape and you've got your cut across here, and these are folded. And then basically you manipulate it and squish those folds until you get it into the right sort of shape. Now, one of the things I've learned from watching the videos is that it's highly unlikely that you're going to get this absolutely perfect. And you'll see there I've got a little bit of an overlap with the white. But it's about getting it as good as you can. And then in the next step of decorating, you can trim any bits off, or you can cover them with your decoration, whatever you like. So there is our first zine. I'm going to fold the others just so that you can watch and see how they all come out. And so you'll get to see me folding again. Okay, so here we have our 3 trial zines. Now, as you will see, this one it's slightly smaller because I only have the 8x10 gel plate, so it was a little bit smaller to start with. And obviously I didn't sort of cut it quite square, so I do have a little bit of an overlap there. But what I could do with this is to just run like a black marker or Posca pen down there, and that would soon sort of blend in. So let's have a quick look through them. So this is the one which was collaged. Now, it was a little bit more difficult to fold because it's been collaged, but it does give it a little bit of a stronger feeling. So I will see how that goes once it's got embellishments and things on. I quite like this, I have to say. I think it's quite there's a bit there that needs sticking down. It's quite a neutral background, and you could do anything you like on there. So again, not quite straight here, but that's okay. And we've got our pages there. So this was the one that was just done with the brayer and some acrylic inks, acrylic paints, sorry, and a little bit of mark making. Now, I really quite like this one. And I'm actually wondering about doing this again, but doing it on a black sheet of paper, because for me this white detracts. So I'm wondering whether I might try one of these again on a black sheet of paper. And if I do, I'll show you in the next video. So there we go. Again, you just got some great backgrounds to start working on there. And here's our one we did on the gel plate. And wow, look at this. I think this could almost be a zine on its own. It doesn't need anything else almost. I just love the way this has come out. Look at that. So there we go, folks. That's my first exploration of zines. As I say, I will be going on to choose one and decorate it up for the challenge that I'm doing for the Mixed Media Art and Artists page. So keep tuned for the next video. But for now, I hope this has been useful. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes rather than making your own. But also, hopefully it's given you, I think all of these would work. So hopefully it's given you some ideas if you want to start and have a go at zines yourself. So for now, if you've got any questions or comments, please do leave them below. I love to hear from you. Please like and subscribe. This is a very new channel. I've been loving what I've been doing, loving sharing some of my experiments and my work with you. So please do comment, do give us a thumbs up, show me that you like what I do, or let me know if you don't. And for now, I'll say ka kite anō. See you soon.